Tomi has been bleeding for months, like the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. At first, she thought it was just a normal period. Until the blood refused to stop. Weeks turned into months, hospitals said nothing was wrong, and her body kept wasting away. Only to later discover her womb had been used for money ritual. Before we go deep into her story, please click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember to drop a comment for more real-life storytelling. Now, sit back, let me tell you how it all began. Tomi was a city girl, fine, full, and flawless. The kind of beauty that made men turn their heads even when they were with their wives. She had thick thighs, round hips, and full breasts that sat like blessings from the gods. When she passed, even the wind paused to admire her. She was born in Warri but grew up in Lagos with her mother, a hardworking woman who sold food by the roadside. Her father left when she was young, so her mother raised her single-handedly. Tomi was smart, lively, and sharp with her tongue. But when poverty knocks too long at a door, even good girls begin to get tired. After secondary school, Tomi couldn't afford to go further. She tried selling hair, tried selling clothes, but city life doesn't smile on slow hustles. That's how she met Cynthia, an old school friend who had changed completely. Cynthia drove a car, carried designer bags, and always smelled like Dubai perfume. Tomi. She turned and froze. Cynthia. Oh my God. They both screamed and hugged each other tight, laughing. I can't believe it's you, Tomi said, stepping back to look at her. You've changed. You look so different. Cynthia smiled proudly. Oh, my sister, no small hustle oh. You know how Lagos be. Tomi's eyes moved from her polished nails to her shiny car and designer bag. You're really doing well, Cynthia. See your skin SEF, it's glowing. Cynthia laughed. No small enjoyment. Life no suppose hard like that. Tomi smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. She felt a small pinch in her chest, the kind that comes when you see someone living the life you dream about. They talked for a while about school, about old classmates, about how time had passed so fast. Cynthia told a few funny stories that made Tomi laugh until her eyes watered. When the laughter calmed down, Cynthia said, "You still the same, Tomi. Sharp mouth and fine face." Tomi grinned. At least something never changed. Cynthia looked at her watch. I have to go now, babe. But we need to catch up properly. Sure, Tomi said quickly. Let me have your number. They exchanged numbers, promising to see each other soon. As Cynthia walked back to her car, Tomi stood still, watching her go. The soft sound of her heels, the way her perfume lingered, everything about her screamed comfort and success. Tomi smiled faintly, but her heart was heavy. One day, she whispered to herself. One day I go reach that level too. The next day evening, Cynthia took her out, they ate at a fancy restaurant, and Tomi asked, they sat across from each other in a fancy restaurant, soft music playing in the background. The food looked too fine to eat, and Tomi kept glancing around, trying not to look out of place. Cynthia sat relaxed, one leg crossed over the other, her nails shining under the warm light. She laughed softly, scrolling through her phone before taking a sip of her drink. Tomi watched her for a while, the dress, the perfume, the easy confidence. Then she dropped her fork, leaned forward a little, and said quietly, "Babe, abeg, how you dey do Cynthia looked up, her smile small but knowing. Do wetin? She asked. Tomi sighed and smiled shyly. All this. The soft life, the car, the fine clothes. You just dey glow anyhow. Cynthia chuckled and leaned back. My sister, no packaging oh. Tomi laughed too, but she didn't believe that. The look in Cynthia's eyes said there was more, something she wasn't saying yet. Cynthia laughed and said, baby girl, money for hand, back for ground. No men they pay my bills. Use this your beauty, don't waste it. Tomi froze for a moment, her eyes widening. Men? She asked quietly. Cynthia smiled and picked up her drink. Yes now. You think say all this fine life come from selling hair? My dear, this Lagos no easy. If you wait for small hustle, hunger go finish you. Tomi looked down at her plate, her hand still holding the fork. She didn't know what to say. Part of her wanted to laugh it off, but part of her understood exactly what Cynthia meant. Cynthia leaned closer, her voice calm but firm. You fine, Tomi. You get shape, you get sense. Men go spend for you if you package well. You no go suffer. This your beauty no money, no go waste am on struggle. Tomi's heart beat faster. She wanted to say no, to argue, but the words didn't come. She remembered her small store, the hot sun, the days she barely sold anything. Cynthia smiled again, as if she could see through her thoughts. No rush. Just think I go show you small road when you ready. Tomi forced a smile. I hear you. But as Cynthia laughed and waved for the waiter, Tomi sat back in her chair quietly. The restaurant lights felt too bright now, and her food no longer looked sweet. Inside her mind, she kept hearing Cynthia's voice, money for hand, back for ground. It sounded wrong, but it also sounded easy. That night was the beginning. At first, Tomi hated it, meeting strangers, pretending to like them. But when the first man dropped 200,000 Nigerian nairas for just one night, she stared at the money on the table for a long time. It was more than she had ever made in a month of selling clothes. That night, as she counted the crisp notes, something in her heart went quiet, the fear, the guilt, the shame. All she could think was how easy it felt. How quick. How sweet. For the first time in her life, Tomi slept with the fan on, her belly full, and her mind busy with new thoughts of shoes, wigs, perfume, and rent paid before month end. She told herself, I'll just do it once in a while. But money is sweet. Soon, she was doing it every week. She started looking fresher, new phones, wigs, shoes. She moved into a small apartment, furnished it, and even sent money to her mother. Everyone thought she had found a good job. Then came that night. The night that changed her life forever. It was a Friday. Tomi was at a lounge on the island when a tall man walked in. Well-dressed, handsome, with the confidence of someone used to getting what he wanted. He came with 4 other friends, all of them rich and quiet. They drank, laughed, and sent bottles to Tomi's table. Later that night, one of them whispered, My boss likes you. How much for the night? Tomi smiled. They offered her 1.5 million Nigerian nairas, 5 times what she usually charged. She couldn't believe her luck. 5 men. 1 night. Big money. She said yes. They took her to a private lodge outside town. The place was luxurious, scented candles, dim lights, expensive wine. They made her drink, laugh, and dance. Then one after another, they slept with her. She felt strange afterward, dizzy and weak. But when she saw the bundle of cash on the table, she smiled. She thought her destiny had finally opened. 2 days later, her period started. It came earlier than usual. She didn't think much of it, maybe stress, she said. But after 1 week, it didn't stop. It got heavier, darker. She started feeling weak. Her bedsheet was always stained. By the 2nd week, she began to panic. She went to the hospital. The doctor ran tests, all came back normal. He told her it might be hormonal imbalance. They gave her drugs. Nothing changed. The blood flowed even more. Morning, afternoon, night, weeks, months, her private part began to smell rotten, worm and maggots started coming out. Her skin became pale, her cheeks sank, her bones began to show. People in her compound started whispering. Some said she had HIV. Others said she had done an abortion that went wrong. She stopped picking calls. She sold her phone to buy medicine. Her friends stopped visiting. By the third month, she was a shadow of herself. Her once beautiful body was gone. Her mother came to Lagos and fainted when she saw her. The woman cried, packed her daughter's things, and took her back to the village. In the village, they took her to a spiritualist, an old man known for seeing beyond the ordinary. When he saw Tomi, he sighed deeply and said, "My daughter, they have used your womb for money ritual." The old man explained that the men she slept with that night were ritualists. They had performed a secret ritual during the act, using her life force and her womb to renew their wealth. They didn't kill her physically, but they took her ability to bear children. And the endless bleeding was her body crying for what had been taken. Her mother wept and begged the man to help her. For 7 days and nights, they performed cleansing rituals. They bathed her with herbs at the river. They burned charms and poured libation. The man used incantations to call back her spirit. Slowly, the bleeding began to reduce. By the 10th day, it stopped completely. But Tomi was no longer the same. Her womb was gone. The spiritualist told her, "You will live. But you will never conceive. You have paid a heavy price for quick money." Tomi cried until her eyes swelled. She couldn't believe her life had changed so suddenly. Months passed. Her strength slowly returned. She began helping her mother sell palm oil and soap in the market. She covered her scars with smiles. But deep down, she carried the pain of knowing she would never be called Mama. Sometimes, when she sits at her shop and sees young girls walking around in shiny wigs and short dresses, laughing and saying, "No enjoyment we dey enjoy," Tomi would shake her head and whisper, "If only they know that not every man is human. Some are walking graves." She became quiet, prayerful, and wiser. She told her story to warn others, because in her words, "Fast money finishes fast. But the pain it brings lasts a lifetime." Moral of the story: not every rich man that calls you beautiful wants love. Some are hunters looking for souls to exchange. Be careful where you go, who you follow, and what you accept. The devil doesn't always come with horns, sometimes, he comes in designer suits. More real-life stories are coming, stories that teach, touch, and remind us that in this life, nothing goes for nothing. So that is the end of my story. If you find this story interesting and want to get more of our stories, please click on the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon to get notified immediately we upload.